Howdy folks, thanks for joining me in the brewery, and we're on to our third batch of easy extract, partial mash and extract brewing. This is the new method I've been playing around with, and I've actually got 2 beers here. I've just been drinking from the first 2 batches, which are drinking very nicely. So we're on to the third batch, and coincidentally, coincidence led me to this brew. I'm going to give a big shout out right now to Skid Baxter, or Vinny Salvatore, from over there. I meant to check, but I'm pretty sure he's in Pittsburgh, in the States. And I was recently watching one of his videos. Vin's been a long time watcher of the Little John's channel, and we communicate here and there. And recently he had a video up and he bought himself a new book of recipes and whatnot. He was having a look through it, and I asked him to send me a recipe, pick a recipe out, send it to me. And what he came up with was a Schwarzbier recipe. But what he did is he's actually sent me a Schwarzbier recipe that he does. And I remember after I'd discussed it with him, he sent me the recipe. I remember seeing a video when he was talking about a Schwarzbier that he drank, and he said he brewed it quite regularly. Because I'd mentioned I wanted to do something. I was sort of looking to do maybe an extract sort of a partial mash sort of a brew. And he sent me the recipe. Now he says it's a bit of a bastardization of a traditional German recipe. It was provided to him by one of his local breweries. It was a beer they do, which he really liked. So he got the recipe. This is the recipe they gave him. So it's not completely traditional Schwarzbier, but it's close enough. Now, just a quick little story. He named this the Shorewood Schwarzbier. As he said in the video, discussed one of the producers or one of the directors of the old Gilligan's Island TV show. The name was Sherwood Schwartz, and apparently Vinny was a fan of Gilligan's Island. Who wasn't? And it just stuck with him. So he went with the Sherwood Schwartz. So here we are. So he sent me the recipe. So we're getting this underway. Now this is going to be a slightly longer boil than the 2 previous versions of the easy extract, but this is a requirement to keep the beers more authentic and in the right style. So I'm happy with that. I've got the phone going with the stopwatch, keeping track of exactly how long I take start to finish on this brew. But it's going to take very little of my actual fucking input. So over here I've got 5 litres of water sitting on around 71, 72 degrees Celsius. Bag of grain. This has come from Kegland. I use their the grain bill maker to get this. It's a bit limiting, the grain bill maker on Kegland, because it's only limited to the grains they've got. I couldn't use it for another beer I'm doing very shortly, but I could use it for this. So this is the grains I've got. Got me in my bag over here. These are already milled. Got 450. This is for a 20 litre batch. Actually a 19.2 litre batch was what Vinny sent me, because it's the old American 5 gallon. So, but I've just rounded up to 20 litres for the sake of metrics. And I said, They bastardised the recipe, the German recipe. I've sort of bastardised his just a little bit. We can double pass the credit back to fucking somewhere else, but either way. So 454 grams of Munich malt. I've used Barrett Burston just because that's what they. It's cheaper, in all honesty. 230 grams of Wyman Carafa Free, 250 grams of Wyman Cara Munich Type 2, 110 grams of chocolate light malt, in this case it's a Gladfield, and 100 grams of melanoidin. And I'm going to dump that in my little bucket down here with your grain bag. Ready milled. This is a great option for this sort of brewing. I'm not always one to, you know, give big shout outs for Kegland, but yeah, that works. And it's the first time I've actually gone through a new bought hops from their with their 25 gram packs, and for this it worked because I needed 25 grams of Hallertau. So, and it's a cheap way, it's a good way of getting hops if you don't want to buy 100 grams because you don't need a lot. They've got the 25 gram bag options, and it's the same price for 25 grams as it is per, yeah, for 100 grams, yeah, per gram. So you're not getting bloody hit for only buying a small amount, which is what normally fucks people up. But anyway, the longer we talk, the longer this brew takes to get on. So, grain bag, done. Water, 72 degrees Celsius, in she goes. How much was in there? 5 litres, I told you already, don't ask me again. I've treated the water with a little bit of sodium met and ascorbic acid, and that's it. Lid on, going to give that 30 minutes. I'm just going to sort of just try and keep this temperature in the 60s, mid-ish 60s, doesn't particularly matter. Starting at 72, it's going to drop down through the 60s. As long as it stays in that range, it's going to get the job done. If you can maintain temperature, keep it in the high 60s, 67, 68, but it's going to be quite fine to just let it sit. And I said, I'm going to basically let this sit. I'll maybe after 15 minutes I'll come back, I'll just fire this up for a couple of minutes just to make sure it doesn't drop out of the 60s. But other than that, let's get all the bloody dusty goodness. Looks like fucking charcoal, but anyway. I'm going to go and find some other stuff to do for half an hour while that's happening. See you shortly. Righto, that's our half hour gone. I haven't actually touched the temperature on this. It's just nudging 60 degrees now, so I'm happy enough with that. So we'll get this bag out. I'm going to drain a bit. Actually, I'm going to get my rack and stick my rack under that. That'll be easier. Okay, so now I'll get this up to a boil and we'll get some hops on. Okay, we've just come to a boil. While that was coming to a boil, I've just done the hardest part of the whole brew. I went and cleaned the grain bag. Yeah, seriously, that's the hardest part of today's brew day. Done. Now, I said before about bastardising the recipe. I've bastardised it some more because the 50 gram bag of Hallertau Mittelfrüh that Brewfather tells me I've got in my inventory does not exist. So instead of 75 grams of Mittelfrüh, I've only got 25. So there's some changes afoot. Original recipe was Tettnang up front, and then Tettnang at 30, and then Hallertau, sorry, Tettnang at 60, then Hallertau at 30 and 15. I've adjusted with what I've got to get us the same IBU at the same drops, and hopefully a similar sort of reaction or response. So, starting off, I've got Warrior, so fairly clean, nondescript bittering hop. I've got enough in there to get me about 13 IBU. We're going to boil that for half an hour. Well, actually, I'm going to boil that for 60 minutes. Within half an hour, I'm going to add more hops to it. Righto, 30 minutes in. 25 grams of Tettnang. This edition should have been Mittelfrüh. For, yeah, I don't know. Where are we? For 9 IBU. 15 minutes, we'll add some more hops. Righto, 15 minute boil addition going in. 25 grams of Hallertau, 16 grams of Tettnang, for a total of, how do you keep moving this? 8 IBU. This is going to boil for another 15 minutes. So while that's going on, I'm going to do some hard work. I'm going to go and get 13 litres of water in the fermenter. After I give it a quick hit with sanitizer and, yeah, get it safe to use. Surely. Okay, that's the boil done. Turn that off. Get our hops out. 3 bags, and they want to come out at one bloody time, which is a little bit too difficult. Gloves would have been handy here, but I've got a whack of stuff already packed away, ready to preparation for the upcoming moves. So righto. So hops are out. 5 litres of this tap water. Part of what's been treated. I've got 14 litres over here in the fermenter. I was looking for 13, it's telling me 14. Maybe a little bit over volume here, but anyway. I'm going for my malts. This is some Breeze, the proper Pilsner malt. And it's clumped quite a lot. So, and I've got to measure this out as I'm going, because I can't access my scales, my big scale, and these ones will only do 2 kilos in a go. So I want 2.268 kilos of Pilsner malt. Now if you can't get Pilsner malt, just use white dry malt. But it's just going to be a bit darker than you really want for this recipe. But it will work. I mean, Schwarzbier's, it's a dark lager, so it's not going to be a complete stuff up if you use somebody normal malt. And 300 grams of dextrose. Now you've seen the common theme about how hard this bloody method is, aren't you? All in there, and I'm going to mix that in. And that bloody Pilsner malt does not want to dissolve. Fucking, of course it doesn't. Oh no! Without a little bit of drama. Firstly, I couldn't get that malt to dissolve real easy, so I've had to bring up the temperature in the pot to get it to melt fully. So if you're going to use that Pilsen malt and it does go clumpy on you, break up the clumps before you get it in, which is normally what I do. I normally break it up first, but because there's so much of it, I hadn't worried about it. I thought I should just break up, but no. So that'd be a lesson. And then I've just realised that I didn't start the camera. Well, I thought I started the camera when I sat down. So I've transferred this into the fermenter. It's too warm at the moment. It's sitting on 34 degrees. I end up taking 2 litres out of the fermenter. So I dropped it back to 12 litres instead of 14. I'm now pretty much bang on 20. So that's a better number. So I'm still getting the hang of exactly where the numbers sit on this method, but that's good. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this in the fridge now, let it cool down. If I had this bloody spot, I could have put this in the water bath and cooled it, but I don't have ready access just at the moment. That's going to change in the new brewery. I'm going to pitch 30 grams of 3470. Once this comes down under 20 degrees, I'm going to ferment at 12 degrees for the interim. It's now Tuesday. Thursday I'm going down the coast. I'll be back next Thursday. So it'll be 9 days. When I get back, I will ramp this up for a de-rest, let it finish, and then give it a couple of days cold before kegging it up. So that's her. I will confirm a OG when we're doing tasting. But at the moment, she looks good. Colour's nice. So our simple day, yeah, went really alright. 3 hours and 24 minutes. As I said, I've spent an hour getting that sorted. So it would have been 2 hours and 24 minutes. I need to put this in the fridge. I need to wash that out and effectively, and rinse out the hot bags, because I've still got them sitting there. I haven't actually done them yet. I've been fucking dancing around doing other stuff. But yeah, 2.5 hours. Start to finish, and that includes the hour boil. And they just seem piss easy. So, tasting very soon. See you shortly. Righto folks, tasting time. It's now one day short of 5 weeks since this brew went into the keg. It went into the keg after a ferment of 9 days at 12 degrees, 3 days at 18 for a de-rest and let it clean up, and a 2-day cold crash. So 5 weeks in the keg. It's been on tap for about 2 weeks in the fridge, and it's just really starting to clear up nicely and settle down and get its gas up. It's gone into the keg a little bit undercarbed, not a lot, but it's now come up to a nice spot. I've had a couple of drinks on this in the last week, and I've got to say, it's a bloody good beer. Skid's done well here. He certainly set us right. It's a lovely deep copper
brownish sort of a bit, more copper than brown, but it's certainly got a little bit of that note in it. It's got a rich cola type of nose, almost like an artisan cola. Yeah, there's some rich toffee, vanilla, that sort of thing going on. It smells quite nice. You see there, the head's fading away reasonably quickly. This is not a nucleated glass. I've gone for something a little bit, more fitting of the style, but it does mean no nucleation, so that knocks your head around a little bit, but yeah, we get over that. Why muck around? Let's go. Oh, yum. Oh, that's just bloody nice. It really is. Now, it's not delivering your quintessential, typical German, dark lager Schwarzbier sort of a finish. It's a little bit deeper in the body. It's not quite as sharp on the bitterness up front, so it's a bit less sharp. It's not quite as dry, and it's not quite as ashy. And that comes down to that recipe, as I said, the bastardisation that's occurred at Skid's end, or from where the recipe come from. There is no roast in the brew, and I would assume, and again, I have not really looked at a Schwarzbier recipe, but I'm assuming that there'd be some amount of roast, at least some black malt in a typical Schwarz. I think this is probably carrying a little bit more of the Cara malts, the Carafa and the Cara Munich, and that chocolate point is carrying a bit more there than a typical style would, and as such it's got a little bit more body, just a little bit more sweetness, and carrying a little bit more gravity. It was expected to get to 111 on the recipe. It got the 10-12, and I would have expected a Schwarzbier would probably be more a 109, 110 sort of a beer generally, but yeah, as it is, for a slightly changed version, geez, it works well. That cola smell comes through in the flavour. There's rich malt, some nice rich toffee, subtle little bit of vanilla there, a little bit of chocolate, tiny little bit of coffee coming through on the back. I think that melanoidin's also bringing in some nice richness as well. There's not a lot of hop present, so I'm getting some nice woody sort of notes right through. I said that the bitterness up front isn't real snappy. There's only 13 IBU up front at 60 minutes coming from that Warrior, and it is clean and there's not a lot going on. The Tettnang at 30 minutes, that 9 IBU that's coming in there is coming in as, I think that's that woody sort of a note. I would have liked to have seen what actually having the proper, as per the recipe, hopping went through, having the middle front and the Tettnang all the way up to the front, how much difference that would make. But the hops just come through from the front, right through to the back, right through the mouth when you're drinking. It's just all there. The whole thing just sits together as this grouping of just beautiful, bitter, sweet, just coming together really nice. It's like, salt and caramel just bloody works. This is working. Taking those two very opposite, sensory tastes and flavours, bang, putting them together. Yeah, yum. I'm really impressed by the beer. Skid, mate, this is bloody fantastic. Yeah, yes, I've adjusted a little bit, but certainly not enough to take away any of the true character of what the beer is that that he's presented me with. I now I now understand the beer that I saw him drinking in that first video when I saw him drinking it and talking about it, and why he was so wrapped with this beer, because it is a bloody cracker. The other thing is I'm really happy with the fact that as the third attempt in the easy extract, this partial mash and dry extract, playing around with these brews, is that 3 beers in, we've had 3 really good beers, showing that this method just really works really well. So I'm certainly something I'm gonna keep playing with. I certainly suggest you have a crack at it. If you're sitting at home and you haven't, this is worth having a go. Even if you're an all grain brewer and you brew all grain all the time, consider doing that. Yeah, like I said, this was on the day it was a slightly longer brew day than anticipated, but that was only purely a muck up. Had it been as it should have been, it was under 2.5 hours. So it's an hour and a half to 2.5 hour or more savings on doing an all grain brew. And in all honesty, I don't know if you could get that much improvement doing that all grain. Give it a whirl. If you're not into all grain, you're looking at expanding your abilities, your knowledge, the input you're putting into making a brew, look at this sort of thing. Making fantastic beers. If you want some pointers on a particular beer style, happy to stick a question down the bottom. I'm happy to bloody look at different ways of going around getting particular styles. If you're just a kit brewer and you're sick of the twang and you want to make better beer, look at that. 1 pot, 1 grain bag, couple of hop socks, 40 bucks worth of a gear, you're in. You're up and doing it. And like I said, you've probably got most of the stuff at home anyway already that you can make one of these with. But yeah, that is a bloody good beer. It's sticking on tap here, and it's probably a beer I'm going to do potentially down the track again. Come the colder months. It's certainly something I might well play with. It's gets a thumbs up from me. So anyway, listen, if you got any comments or any questions, stick them down the bottom. Patrons, thank you for your support. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. But for now, I'm gone. Easy extract, partial mash and dry extract. The Sherwood Schwarz, German lager, German dark lager, Schwarzbier. Complete success, well worth a crack at. But for now, I'm out of here. So until I see you on the next video, and we were brewing beer, drinking beer, or talking beer, good brewing. As the skipper would say to Gilligan, well done, good buddy.